The following program has been pre-recorded, so please don't call in at this time. If you wish to participate in the program, tune in at 5 p.m. every Wednesday for A Pause for Thought on Baton Rouge Community Radio. Good evening, fellow humans. This is Wayne Parker with A Pause for Thought here on Baton Rouge Community Radio, coming to you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'd like to remind everyone listening and inform those who are listening for the first time that this is a live call-in show. Feel free to call in and share your thoughts and questions. 343-9927, 343-9927, if you have any questions or comments or any thoughts to share on the topic of the evening. And the topic for tonight, we have in the studio tonight a couple of distinguished guests from Baton Rouge's Islamic community. Imad Nofal, glad to have you. And Maqsood Ahmed, right? Yes, okay. And you guys, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but glad to have you here. Glad to have you on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We met in Baton Rouge at the anti-immigration ban protest a few weeks ago, and I was surprised to see what a large percentage of the people that were there were from the Middle East, although everyone I talked to had been here for decades. You know, it wasn't like everybody had just come over, but I was pleased. Tell us about the Muslim community in Baton Rouge. How were you guys involved?
Okay. Wayne, thank you for inviting us. This is really, we see as an opportunity to express ourselves. We don't get this so often in the local media. I'll talk about myself, but very much we have the same story, me and Maqsood and many Muslims here in Baton Rouge. I immigrated to this country about 25 years ago, and Muslim community in Baton Rouge consists of variety of people. You have immigrants who has been here 20, 30, 15 years, more or less. You have people who were born and raised here, white or African Americans and Hispanics. So the community of Muslims in Baton Rouge is not consisting actually of the Middle Eastern people. There are Africans, there are locals who were born and raised in Baton Rouge, believe it or not, and that really leads me to correct something, general misunderstanding, that Middle Easterns and Arabs are Muslims, and Muslims are Middle Eastern and Arabs. The truth is, no more than 20% of Muslims are non-Middle Eastern and not non-Arabs. So the Arabs majority of them are Muslims, but there are some Christians and Jewish Arabs. But the majority of Muslims basically are non-Middle Eastern and non-Arabs.
Yeah, you know,
it's a worldwide religion that's scattered.
Yes, and thank you for the gentle correction. But yeah, I understand, because really the Arab country, the Muslim empire, the Islamic empire, I guess it was, but it expanded across Eastern Europe a long time ago. It was the most powerful civilization that existed, did it not? Was it not?
That's true.
And yeah, so and it's all over Europe, like you said. And once humanity moved, or Western civilization moved to the North American continent, it spread there too. So yes, it is a worldwide religion. And yes, forgive me for just assuming Middle Eastern people. I guess I meant of Middle Eastern origin or whatever. But you're correct. Obviously, you're the expert on it. You're involved with the Islamic Center of Baton Rouge, are you not?
Yes, I've been involved in the Islamic Center for a long time.
Are you a leader there, or just?
Yeah, I'm considered one of the leaders there. I have been in the board of directors of the Islamic Center for many years. I have been occupied the position of a chairman because it goes by election, and executive director. And generally, I've been around the Islamic Center and Islamic affairs of the Baton Rouge city since I came to this city and this country 25 years ago.
Okay, when you came here 25 years ago, how large was the community then, and how much of it has it grown in those 25 years? Do you have any numbers or any guess?
I'll give you some rough numbers. Generally, the Muslim community, just like any other community, when I came to Baton Rouge 25 years ago, everything was different. Today, everything has changed. I could go from traffic to the amount of buildings in the streets to the shops, so everything grows, and the community of Muslim community are no different. We have back to 25 years ago, we had one mosque in West Chimes, LSU area, and it was enough to take us. We're about 150 people praying there, the Friday prayer. Our congregation was that large, and probably we have about 1,000 Muslims at that time in Baton Rouge. Today we have another facility, bigger facility in East Airport, that the congregation can accommodate about 400 to 500 people on Friday prayer, and it's very much full. So our community grew by not only immigrants from overseas, but by our children growing, people who come here 25 years ago as single people, they got married, they have children. That's one source of also people who immigrate this town seem to attract a lot of professionals also. There are a lot of people comes, very well-educated people, and they belong to our community. So there are many sources. It's not like when the community grow, that means that most of the people coming from outside of the United States. No, there's a big movement of Muslim community behind good jobs, behind good businesses, and what have you.
Do you get many people who have been in the U.S. all their lives and were not born into the Muslim faith, who discover your religion and your views and join and become convert or whatever?
Yeah, we do. People come to us. We have people since the entire 25 years before. They come, they seek knowledge, they ask for information, and we adopt an open policy, just like every open house policy. People can come and learn and attend our sermons. Our language in our sermon is English, and our communication is English, because I told you that what unites us here in the United States is the common citizenship and country and language. So you'll find people coming from Africa, from different countries of Africa, or from Asia, or from the Middle East, and our common language in our mosque is English. So basically, people come, they ask for information, we provide. We have an outreach program to introduce ourselves to people and make sure that they have the right information when they need it.
Where is the outreach program? Where is it administered from, or does it have?
No, our outreach program is housed in our mosque. It's one of the committees. Some of our people are they host like open house. Every year we host programs like, if somebody comes, we make sure that he has people to answer his information. We also have pamphlets and books and translated Quran and whatever material that people ask for. We have a website also, icbr.org, that provide information to people. So we consider this all as part of outreach. We also, during Ramadan, our holy month, we invite public figures, we invite police, we invite firefighters, we invite officials to attend, to come to our mosque. It's all part of the outreach program.
What kind of response do you get normally from the firefighters and police?
Believe it or not, when people come, especially you hear the response from people who first time experience dealing with Muslims. It's always, wow, he feel like all what he has learned before was misconception, was myths, and when he comes, see the hospitality, see how people are the same, see people laugh and enjoy life, and they have the same issues like him, have the same problems. I love this response on the face of the people. I don't think anybody who comes spend time at the Islamic Center, we got any negative comments from them.
No, I believe it.
Happy.
Sure, yes. No, I believe it. I've had the same experience elsewhere. I know because I don't pay that much attention to the stuff put out on television. But there's a lot of bad information out there. In fact, you talk about it, one of your mission statement here. One of your goals or activities is to correct information about Islamic beliefs and history, striving to elevate the image of Islam and Muslims by way of providing the correct information about Islamic beliefs. And I know I've been told that Islam is founded in violence. That's been a lot of things that were said about that. And from what I've read, which is just Houston Smith's The World's Religions, I don't see that. You guys, the Islam was formed from the Abrahamic, as part of the Abrahamic religions, right? You're related to the Hebrew. Your Hebrews were formed by Isaac, I think it was, and Ishmael. Then
this goes, the lineage of the Muslims goes from that lineage. The thing is, the history was unjust of providing the information to basically the Americans and European about that. There was a disconnect in history if you come to what is where people get. But the truth of the matter is, our judge is our literature. People, as I told you, we our sermon is open, our books are there, and our practice is there. Muslims are not people who are different. They are all over Baton Rouge.
Human beings are human beings.
Go to from restaurants you eat in, to shops that you shop in, to the school that the public schools that your or private schools that your children goes study. They have teachers. They have professors at LSU, professors at Southern University, doctors. We believe it or not, if you take any segment of any group of people, you will find that Muslims, by far, education, jobs, job creation, opportunities, they will find they're far ahead of their peers on any scale.
Yes, and as Houston Smith mentioned, and I'm sure other historians, it was the spreading of the Muslim faith that actually enabled the Arabs they were called the Arabs, I guess, in the old days, to become so strong and be such a successful civilization and grow and expand out to Eastern Europe and everything. So, there's a lot to be said for the faith, I suppose, in that regard. And that's proof, I guess, is what I'm saying.
It is. It's a system that I was talking to my congregation the other day. There is a very famous quote from our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I have not sent except to fulfill the good manners. This is exactly the mission of the Prophet and all the prophets that were sent. And people who has met Muslims, who has worked with Muslims, who has dealt with Muslims, and if these Muslims are really true Muslims, because you'll find people who claim Islam, but they don't practice anything, or they practice something. But what I'm saying, if he follow the true commandments and the true teachings of Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the true teachings of the Quran, you will find that he is a friend, he's a good citizen, he's a good husband, she's a good wife, and in every aspect you will find he is a good person to associate with.
Okay, yeah, and I believe that. Really, if all decent people, but like getting back to your point, there are people of all religions who don't really adhere to,
that's true,
the religion that they profess.
But
and
this is where the Islam has been unjustly treated by the media, by the historians. You can't come, and every religion has its bad people, every group of people has its bad apples. You can't throw a blanket and start today. What happens with some of the media outlets is they wait for any opportunity and to slam it with Islam. They wait for any chance of a bad action to kind of bring the Islam in the picture, to the point that when something wrong happens, we start just kind of, things happen. Just the other day in New Orleans, a drunk guy has driven his truck in a crowd. I tell you what, we start, like, this is how we start feeling like every time we hope that has nothing. We have nothing to do with it because somebody gonna take it and take it out of proportion
and that was the first thing.
Wayne, just imagine, I would like that, God forbid, it should not happen to anyone. Just imagine that this was a person remotely a Muslim, how the media and everybody. But anyway, I want to talk in a different perspective. This thing of explaining ourselves all the time, it had to change. Now, as Imad mentioned, that in our community we have people who are U.S. veterans. I'm not an Arab. And majority of the Muslim in Baton Rouge, there are 4 Islamic centers. Majority of the Muslims is not Arabs. They are not from Middle East. So they are U.S. veteran, Army veterans, born and raised over here. They are the best of the doctors, business people, IT people. And somebody was talking to me. I said that you are from Baton Rouge and LSU. I said, I have 3 tigers at my home. All of my children graduated from LSU. They went to Baton Rouge High. They went to Glasgow Middle, and same for everybody else. So I'm sick and tired of this explaining ourselves. This is our home. This is our country. And we love our home. We want this our home to make a better place for our children and grandchildren. We are like other humans. There are good and bad, as Brother Imad earlier said. But Muslim community need to be looked beyond that. We are an integral part of the country. We are here to stay. We are not going anywhere. Make no mistake about it. We are not going anywhere. And by and large, Muslim community is the most educated community, very productive. 3,000 Islamic center around the country. Most of them, probably all of them, like they have regular elections, educated boards. Just our board of directors, I've been myself in board of directors in the local community. It's one of the most educated. Everybody has masters, and somebody is physician, have businesses, and so is the overall community. We are a very positive contributor in the society. So a question and discussion should go beyond that now. That time is past. We are here, part of the society, and we are here to stay and here to contribute, period.
Right. No, I understand, and I appreciate that, Maksud. The problem is there is a large segment of American society that, I guess because you are so well educated, as you say, you operate in educated circles, and it's the people who don't get exposed to that much or who have not seen or read that much about the world that are the ones being fed all this nonsense and are being frightened by it. So again, it's what I've seen over the years with the various minority communities in America that were ostracized or stereotyped. Once people get to know them and see them as human beings, meet them personally, that like Imam was saying, it's like, hey, you're all right, you're just like I am, but there's still a lot of that needs to be overcome, and I understand you're frustrated, but I hear a lot of the comments where I work a lot of times, and I do my best to soft pedal it and give a different perspective, but I don't try to push too hard because, anyhow.
You have a good point there that by and large our neighbors, our fellow citizens, they are very fair-minded, very balanced. The only thing is that those who have not met a Muslim, they might have a different perception, but a certain type of perception by a very small element. A very small element, they have certain agenda, and they have to. Some people's agenda and business is to sell hatred. They make money out of that.
Well, our whole media.
Unfortunately, this is a fact. This is a fact that the majority of our fellow citizens, they are very fair-minded, and all the good work is appreciated. Just on a different note, many people don't know that Muslim social services very active in the country. Since Hurricane Katrina, the organization which I had, like ICNA Relief USA, we participated in 47 disasters. Everywhere from, it's not Katrina in Louisiana, from Sandy in New York, or Isaac in Houston, or tornadoes in Joplin, Missouri, everywhere Muslim community, Muslim relief organizations at the forefront. Just my organization alone has 16 shelter home for women.
And your organization is what?
It's ICNA Relief USA. It's Islamic Circle of North America Relief USA. That's the name of the organization. In brief, we say ICNA Relief USA. And there are many. It's not the only one. There are many other Muslim charity organizations doing a lot of good social services work. We partner with Catholic Charities, Lutheran Social Services, Salvation Army. Like in different, we work with the federal funded projects. Even as we speak, Ignalip USA, in the aftermath of floods in Monroe, in long-term recovery, we are part of that state-funded project along with other organizations. And in recent floods in Baton Rouge,
Yes.
We reached
You were out there.
hundreds of fellow neighbors, clean up, muck out, gut out. We did that for almost 2 months. Muslims, non-Muslims, without any discrimination.
So you helped people of all faiths, just anybody
Yeah.
that needed help,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
And that got nothing. That got no.
Yeah, on the average, just
publicity, you know.
this one organization, on the average, every month we serve around 17,000 people in inner cities, refugees, other needy people. And that's for everyone, for Muslims, non-Muslims, for all faiths. It's open. And there are many other organizations as well.
Yeah.
Just our local Islamic Center. Many times we have a blood drive, and one of the
Yeah, the
comments
Islamic
from
Center, we have a whole program
Lady of the
on-
Lake Hospital these were the one of the 2 most successful blood drives in the whole city.
Well, one of your points on your mission statement for the Islamic Center is to raise money and resources to carry out the vision of by promoting the value of giving, and that's consistent with almost all the major religions. Really, is the sharing of your own personal.
Actually, this is one of the commandments and the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad, that's in that the best among the people. That's a very important teaching, that best among the people, best among the children of Adam are those who are most beneficial to the others.
Yes.
So this is part of our belief. This is not that we have to do it to show a good face or to please someone. For us, this is part of our belief, and to make this place of ours a better place, this is part of our belief.
Go ahead.
Speaking
Imran.
of donation, I'd like to make a comment here also with the mission statement. I just like to note that all our activities and all our buildings and all our improvements goes by local funds raised and collected here in Baton Rouge. We really, after September 11, there were a lot of scrutinies for bringing any money from anywhere. And people were afraid, like from anywhere else. So basically, our buildings, our operations, our activities, our social programs, our interfaith program, everything is funded by dollars and $10 and $5 that is donated by our community. And as Masood has noted, it is an important part and anchor of our faith to donate and give the people in need,
Yes,
and to support your programs we have a very established needy program in our center, kind of look after people when they are in need. Yeah.
No, I understand. I wanted to echo what Maksud said also. To me, in my views, we are born with, each of us is born with certain gifts that enable us to give something special, and we are obligated by our own humanity to share it with others. And that seems to be exactly what you said. You don't do it just for a big show or in obedience to Allah, but because you are of that belief, you are of that faith.
And not only it's a sharing of the dollar, sharing of the wealth. The beauty of this country is that it's the sharing of the knowledge, sharing of the values, sharing of the culture.
That's what I meant by wealth.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the beauty. And Muslim immigrants, the Muslims who are born and raised over here, they are Caucasian, they are Afro-American, from other Spanish, all Muslims. Basically, this is the beauty of this country, that we are a nation of immigrants. We are a nation from different cultures, from different faiths, and that's our strength. So those people who are talking against it, they are not helping the country. our strength is our different values, different, as long as we complement each other, we make this place a better place.
Well, like Imad said, when people come to the Islamic Center, the temple, for the first time, they're amazed because they realize that everything they had been taught about the religion was wrong. And
I mean, how beautiful it is. You see Afro-American born and raised in Louisiana. Next to them, a Caucasian who is born in Mississippi. Then there's somebody who is from Indonesia. By the way, the largest Muslim country is not an Arab country. They're Indonesia, which no Muslim army ever went.
Yeah.
There's more than the whole Arab nation, the Indonesia population, 300 million. So, but
and they're not on the immigrant ban list.
No.
No,
Amazing, yes. Well,
not.
Anyway, let's shift gears a bit because I want to talk about the efforts on the part of the Muslim community in the United States, or at least in St. Louis, to generate funds to help repair the vandalism in a Jewish cemetery up there. They raised like $70,000 to do that. And I thought it odd that the media for so long promoted the idea that Muslims hate Jews. And yet, here is a perfect example of how false that is, because you were actively out there resetting the stones and paying money to have things cleaned up. Were you not?
I'm not surprised. I mean, when I saw that, I know even some of the people I have met with, people who are leading that effort, and the truth is, we would have done the same thing in Baton Rouge if, God forbid, something like this happened. We have a very strong interfaith programs. We through the Interfaith Federation of Greater Baton Rouge. I personally have established relation with rabbis here in town, and we go visit, and they come visit. So the reality of the matter is, this is no surprise to anybody. To any Jew or any Muslim who knows each other, they expect that from each other. But for somebody who, I like what Al-Barawat Makhsus said, who made selling hatred is his business and his methods, using every opportunity to deter people from knowing the true faith of Muslim and the true attitude of Muslims. If somebody never has been exposed to that, they will be surprised. But Muslims and Jews who has known each other, they know that this is a normal thing to happen.
Yes.
Actually, and adding to this, I was talking about disaster relief. I think one of our partners in different responding to different disaster, Nikama, they work hand in hand with Iqna Relief USA, a Muslim organization and a Jewish organization. In many disasters, we work together. And on a related note, a good brings good. You mentioned that Muslim communities are helping the Jewish community in this recent unfortunate incident. A couple of years ago, there's a small town, Joplin, Missouri. When tornado happens over there, Iqna Relief and I guess Nikama, and there were a couple of local churches, Christian organizations, from a very small Islamic center. Out of that, we were helping clean up, after tornado, clean up, and at least helping people to get back to their homes. And Muslims and non-Muslims. Then what happened that after a year or so in 2012, this happened in 2011, maybe 2011 or 2012, somebody burned that mosque. All the local churches, Jewish organizations, they came together. They established a fund, and they raised a lot of funds to rebuild that Islamic center, and new Islamic center has been rebuilt with the support of the local churches and Jewish organizations. So that's a way that at the local level, when people know each other, they work with each other, always good comes out, and the good brings good, and the communities come closer, better bridge building, and that's make us as a community, as a nation, stronger people.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Anytime you're exposed to something that expands your mind, it's a good thing. And that's one of the biggest problems, I think, with misconceptions about any group of people is because people just haven't met them before. They don't know them. All they know is what is sold on the mainstream media, and that's all about fear. Fear sells stuff. Fear and sex in America sell things. They sell products. And that's what we see all day long.
Yeah.
But do you have any last words of advice for someone like me who would like to learn more about the Muslim faith and try to help you educate more people?
I like to tell you. I mean, I appreciate that you invited us here. Really, the way we met each other and we talked about. My advice is go to the real sources. Talk to people. Don't prejudge people. Don't go by the opinion of others who just kind of sit you and let you go with whatever they think. Just judge people by their action. Try to know them. If they are your co-workers, give them a chance. If they are your neighbors, give them a chance. And you will find that they are the cream of the crop of this country, and every Muslim comes here or lives here is an addition to the good people of the United States.
Yeah, I just conclude that ignorance is our worst enemy. And let's fight together against ignorance. A lot of problems will be solved.
I totally agree, and that's one reason why. That's the reason why I started doing this show, and I'm grateful to have you on, and hopefully we can have you back again.
We appreciate that, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And for everyone else listening, you've been listening to A Pause for Thought, coming to you from Baton Rouge Community Radio here in Baton Rouge. We've been talking with Imad Nofal and Maksud Ahmed. Anyway, we got to go. Have a good evening.